Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hi everyone, this is Essentials of Services Marketing. This is chapter 7, Promoting Services and Educating Customer. Just read through the learning objectives, which I have actually uploaded into the MOOC. Now we start off knowing the 5 W's of Integrated Services Communications Model. Look at the diagram there. You can download this from MOOC as well. Now, first of all, we need to be familiar with the 3 broad target audience of who for any service communications program. The who covers prospects, which is you need to know who will be your prospect, and therefore you employ traditional communication mix because prospects are not known in advance. Then you need to know who are your users. Try to use the most effective channels, meaning that maybe they are online users, so do it online. If they are people who looks at the newspaper, do it on the newspaper, advertise there. And if it is your employees themselves, then you need to build a service brand and position it and its service products against the competition. Meaning that you must know who your competitors first, and then only you build your brand and position it against the competition. Persuading target customers that the service product offers a better solution for the customer's need, and attracting new users and maintaining contact with existing customers. Now, what it really says about who is as per what we did before this, which is attracting, maintaining, and growing. Now, the next one is with regards to what? Okay, what is your objective? Is it to build a service brand and position its service product against the competition? Or do you want to persuade your target customers? Or you want to attract the new users and maintain them? Other than this, we need to be familiar with the services marketing communications funnel. It is highlighted here in terms of customer acquisition, services encounter management, and customer service engagement. All 3, we have previously done this before in the other chapters. Next is know a few important roles that services marketing communications can assume. IMC really promote tangible cues to communicate quality. It adds value by communicating the content, facilitate customer involvement, and promote the contribution of the service personnel and backstage operations. So these are the roles that service marketing communications can assume. Next is understanding the challenges of services communication and know how they can be overcome. So the key word is how can it be overcome. First of all, the challenges that service communication face is actually to overcome intangibility. Why? Intangibility creates 4 problems: generality, non-searchability, abstractedness, and mental impalpability. Now, generality comprises of objects, persons, or events, and this is usually generalized. Okay, what it really means, there is nothing that is niched or that can attract anyone because it is intangible. Other than that, non-searchability is you cannot look at what you are buying, or the consumer cannot look what they are buying into because they cannot inspect before the purchase. Then abstractedness is there is no one-to-one correspondence with physical objects. They just look at the website perhaps, or they just do the search, right? And they can compare, but still it is abstract. Mental impalpability, right, means that the customer finds it hard to understand what is the benefits of a complex or multi-dimensional offerings. Example, if the customer was to buy takaful, right, they can read the benefits, but it is hard for them to comprehend what is the impact on themselves or on their family members. So how do we actually overcome? Yeah? So to overcome abstractedness, you must have a service consumption episode, such as capture and show typical customers benefiting from the service, such as smiling, your personnel smiling when they want to extend their help, or after they have helped or assisted one of your consumers. Generality will cover two things. First of all, you need to ensure that you have the correct documentation, which is whereby in your website you need to put in the facts and statistics about the service, okay, and then state that there is 200. For example, in the UPS website, they state that they have 216 aircraft in operations. So if you have a restaurant, you can state who are your top, maybe your top chef. If you have Michelin rated, you can also show the menu, the price of the menu. Then with regards to the subjective claim, which is performance documentation and service performance episode, with regards to this, the document and the past service performance, such as the statistics, you can put that down there. And then the present or actual service delivery being performed. This is example of what happened for Domino's. Or you can have the tracking. Remember, when online purchase, they track where your where exactly is the product now being processed, right? Whether they have processed the payment, whether the seller has actually sent it to the courier, and whether the courier has actually received it and on the way to your house. Non-searchability is whereby, right, it is covering consumption documentation and reputation documentation. Obtain and present testimonials. If you are already going through Lazada or Zalora or Shopee, 11th Street, then you can look at the reviews. Okay, then reputation documentations means that how many stars have been given to the seller. Okay, so it's the same thing as you, as the seller, you would want to get as many stars as possible. Normally in Shopee, they have 5 stars. Okay, so the more stars you get, the better it is. Do not be afraid to also include negative comments, because that will show that you are transparent. With regard to mental impalpability, you have the service process episode, case history episode, and service consumption episode, right? So service process episode covers a clear step-by-step documentation of exactly what will happen during the service experience. If you are a travel agent, you can put down there the itinerary, and in the itinerary, please try to be more specific. Remember, you did the Kiwi experience? Well, that's exactly the same thing. Then case history episode presents an actual case history of what the firm did for a specific client. You can document, if once again you are the a travel agent, you can document what the person actually went through and how he felt at each stage of the travel. Service consumption episode is a story of the customer's experience with your service. You can put in the testimonials again here. This is something that you are familiar with, the marketing communications mix, covering advertisement, sales promotion, personal communication, publicity, and public relations. The addition here is service delivery points and corporate design. I don't want to go through individually the marketing communications channel because we have done this before previously in the fundamentals of marketing. But we will look one by one later on about the service delivery channels, which covers the service outlets, frontline employees, service, self-service delivery points, websites and app, as well as the corporate design. Then you have messages, largely which is outside of your control, such as when people want to comment or they want to give good commentary about yourself, then it is WOM, word of mouth, or they will go online on the social networks. And there is also media-initiated coverage in online media, such as the blogs, Twitter, etc. Then you have also the media-initiated coverage in a traditional media, newspaper, basically, right? Now, these are what we have done previously, advertising. This is to inform and build awareness, persuade and remind. So how do you actually stand out from the crowd? You can see on the right, the diagram there, there's several banners or, vertical banners there. So this one is probably in Hong Kong, right? And there's nothing that is jumping out to us, okay? So effectiveness really remains controversial, okay? And the research suggests that half of all ads generate a positive return on the investment. So what happens to the other 50%? Okay. Now, direct mail is also being practiced in traditional marketing channels, and this includes mailings, recorded telephone messages, faxes, email. Then you also have potential to send personalized messages if you have a micro segment, but you need to have detailed database. Okay, then you can also have advanced in on-demand technology, which can empower consumer to decide how and when they prefer to be reached and whom. Yes, you can see there the example given is like email, the spam filters, pop-up blockers, podcasting. Then you also have permission marketing goal, which is to persuade customers to volunteer their attention. Okay, so this, if they do that, then this enable the firm to build a strong customer relationship with their customers. That means it is CRM. So customers are invited to register at the firm's website. They can put a like and they can even link it to their Facebook. Okay. Next is about sales promotion. Right, this is defined as a communication that comes with an incentive. Okay, now, why? Because it motivates customers to use a specific service sooner in a greater volume with each purchase, or if they purchase frequently. So you can have bulk buying. Okay, so that will definitely generate attention and put firms in a favorable light. Nowadays, you can see this if a e-platform will be celebrating their anniversary or their birthday rather. Right now, the current one we have is Lazada. They will be celebrating their 8th birthday, which is actually on the 27th. of March, which is today really. So they give lots of discounts. Sometimes on top of the 50% discount or 60% discount, they have an additional 5 or 10% discount. Now, an example I give here is Seoul Garden, whereby they give discounts of 50% for customers above 56, while most restaurants in Malaysia only give discounts to those above 60 years. Then you have personal selling, which is promoting more face-to-face, and this commonly occurs in B2B or in infrequently purchased services, such as buying a burial spot, or maybe takaful, or health insurance. Okay, so read that. Then you have public relations. Okay, so this public relations stimulate positive interest in an organization, especially useful if you want to sponsor. Make sure you get free publicity for that, or you can do press conferences. Now, press conferences is only meant for companies, large companies or startup companies which want to tell people they have something new to offer. Okay, then the role of the internet. So this is something that is the hip thing to do now. Okay, so we have the company website. I personally believe that company website is extremely important, though some of the newer companies, the startup companies especially, they feel that they prefer having Facebook. But Facebook or even Instagram is what I feel not really believable, because people can put any kind of claims. Okay, whereas the website, a company's website, is something that is believable, is there, because sometimes if you don't have brick and mortar, that is what our consumers will go for. And the website is used to create consumer awareness and interest. It can provide more information and consultation. If you were to go to Airbnb, you can contact directly with the owner of the room or the house that you would like to rent. Or if you want to go to AirAsia, then you have a chat bot there answering your questions. So therefore, this allows two-way communications with customers. Okay, and it also encourage a product trial. You can allow people to use, like Airbnb, it allows people to book the room, and if they decide to continue with it after searching, there's no alternatives that's better than that, then they can continue ahead, or they are allowed to just cancel without any charges. Okay, so when they do this, when you have a proper website, you can actually measure the effectiveness of the advertising or promotional campaign. And companies actually try to be more innovative about looking ways to improve the appeal of their website and the usefulness of their website. I like going to Maggie Me. Okay, they have got a very good website there, so look it up and see what I mean. Then you have online advertising. So we have here two types: banner advertising and search engine advertising. Now, banner advertising, placing advertisements or banners on buttons on portals such as Yahoo, Netscape, Google, right? It draws online traffic to the advertiser's site, and then the website always include advertisements of other related or non-competing services. Okay, then you have search engine advertising. which is whereby the search engine lets the advertisers know exactly what the consumer wants. They use AI here. They make use of big data here. Okay, so it gives you as the company an access to information that you previously do not have, or previously have to pay marketing agencies to find out. Yeah. Okay, so several advertising options include pay for targeted placement. When you want to advertise in Facebook, they allow you to pick and choose who you want to advertise to according to the demographic factors. Then you can also sponsor a short text message with a click-through link, or by top rankings in the display of the search results. Like you want to come out in the SEO, but you want to come out at the very top, then you pay a certain amount, okay, to Google or to Yahoo. And you have moving from impersonal to personal communications. Okay, this one is used to be a difference between personal and impersonal communication, and technology has actually created a gray area. Why? Because sometimes you don't even really know whether you're talking or you're chatting with a robot, yeah? Or you're actually talking to a real person. Okay, now I would prefer to recommend a real person unless you have Q&A and is easily delivered by the bot. Next is no communication mix elements available, right? You have the service outlet, you have the frontline employees, and the self-service delivery points. Now, service outlets such as brochures, videos, posters, signages, and frontline is your communication from the frontline staff. And sometimes new customers in particular, they really need help from the service personnel. So this is where you must make sure that you have your service personnel trained or have them go through orientation. Then you have self-service delivery points such as ATM, vending machines, websites, e-platform. I'm sure you understand this part very well. Most of you simply love to purchase online. And you have the communication mix elements that is outside of the firm and sometimes beyond your control, especially word of mouth. It's okay when people talk positively about you. You know, they like about whatever they have purchased from you, and they give good comments. Okay, so where possible, try to encourage your customers to give testimonials, as what is being done with Shopee and Lazada. They allow their customers to give their feedback in reviews. Okay, and it can create interesting hype. This is what we call buzz marketing. But don't ever go for viral marketing, because viral is actually very negative marketing. Okay, right? So, and it's not actually marketing. It's just gossips online. And you can also offer promotions to your customers. If you recommend one customer, you get a certain discount. Okay, so some websites even use a pyramid structure. And you have the referral incentive schemes as well. Okay, and then you have the blogs, Twitter, and other social media. Okay, read that up. I'm sure you are much better about this than me. Okay, then understanding when is extremely important, because it covers your budget. Okay, it covers the budget, and it will see whether there is any ROI. Now, when communications should take place, you can read here. It's unusual, but do not promote during heavy usage. Okay, when people are using your website, your e-platform heavily, you do not need to promote them. Okay, it's not like as if you're selling a product when you have festive seasons and you want to promote people to eat or buy your product. So that's different. Retail things are different. Products, physical products are different. And other than that, timing must be closely matched to the perception and behaviors the firm wants to manage. Okay, who do you really want to manage? Is it you want to get new customers or your current customer base? So you use different, sometimes they can use different advertisements or incentives or promotions, okay, depending on their target market at that time. And in order to ensure that you do this, you have to have a media plan flow chart. Okay, how do you determine your budget? You can use two things: the objective and task method or the empirical research method. Okay, and I'm taking a lot of time now, so I'm just trying to cut down timing here. There's ethical issues in communication. So this is with regards to advertising, selling and promotions, which can sometimes be abused and eventually end up as spamming. And if in such a way, your customers or consumers will become really disappointed and they can complain. Okay, so do not do that. There are also things like do not overpromise, like delivery time. If you know that it's going to take a long time, more than 1 week, say it's more than 1 week. You can give a range. Okay, so you do not want, because while your customer do not want aggressive intrusion into their personal lives. So what's the role? The role of the corporate is to design. They must make sure they have a strategy when they want to design. Yeah. Important thing is you must ensure you have a unified and distinctive visual appearance, logos, uniforms, physical facilities, then provide recognition and strengthen your brand image. Look at BP's bright green and yellow. Look at AirAsia red and white. Okay, and especially useful in competitive market to stand out. If you look at McDonald's, they have the golden arches. You look at Domino's, you can understand why people remember that, because they actually use Domino's in their logo. And Shell, they use the scallop of the shell on a red background. Now, so how do you want to be different in terms of your logo or in terms of your design? You can use colors, names like in AirAsia, trademark symbol like Nestle. Nestle is a product. Okay, then you have tangible, recognizable symbols. Okay, that can connect the corporate brand name. IBM, for example, or internet, right? They have that. Apple is really good because why? They use the trademark of Apple itself, and eaten apple. Okay, then the importance of IMC to deliver a strong brand, okay, identity. When this is a mistake that some companies make. They actually ask different departments to look after different aspects of the market communications, and this creates miscommunications and discontinuity. So when you have lack of effective coordination, it can result in service failure. So IMC is used to tie together and reinforce communications. And therefore, firms need to give ownership of IMC to a single department or to a single individual, such as the marketing communications director. So that's 30 minutes class. I hope it's not too boring, and I hope you do understand. Thank you.